Hello, and welcome to another Zenless Zone Zero video. Sorry about my voice, I got a bit of a cold, so my voice is gonna be a bit weird. So, version 1.2 is right around the corner, and in the new version, we're going to have two brand new 5-star characters, being Caesar King, the 5-star physical defense character, and Burnice, the 5-star fire anomaly character. In this video, I'm going to be discussing about how these two characters work and whether they would be worth pulling for or not, depending on what your account is or what you are looking for or what your playstyle is. So if you are confused about whether you should pull one or the other, or maybe even skip both, then please continue to watch the video. If you find this video useful or enjoyable, then please do leave a like, leave a comment letting me know who you're pulling for and why, and also subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The character we're going to talk about is the 5-star physical defense character Caesar. Caesar is a defense character, but it has a bunch of stuff built into her kit. She can do quite a few things. She's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. She has a perfect block mechanic. She has a shield that makes your characters immune to interruption. She can inflict a debuff on the enemies that increases the damage they take, and she gives the character on field an attack buff. So she does a lot. She does buffing, debuffing, shield, block. She has a decent amount of stun built into her kit as well. So yeah, she is literally a Swiss Army knife. She pretty much has a little bit of everything. Her anti-interrupt shield is pretty good for characters who have a long chain of attacks, especially where the final few attacks in the chain are the most damage inflicting ones, like let's say Ellen, whose final attack where she throws out the scissors, that's the one that does the most damage. And if you get interrupted with her mid combo, then you're going to have to restart all over again, and you lose all the charges as well, since you have to have the ice charges with Ellen in order to do ice damage, otherwise it would be doing physical damage. So let's say you have 3 ice damage, you want to do a 3-hit combo, but you get interrupted on the second hit, and both of your ice charges are gone, and you can't do the 3rd hit combo with the ice charges unless you gather more ice charges. Yeah, and the interruption shield will make it so that she can't be interrupted mid combo, so you can do the full chain of attacks and maximize the damage. So the anti-interrupt shield will be pretty useful for characters like Ellen, who have most of their damage at the end of their chain of attacks. Also, a perfect block is pretty useful when you're dealing with high aggro bosses who keep attacking constantly, because if you keep parrying, you're eventually going to run out of assist points and will be unable to parry. But with her perfect blocks, you can just keep blocking continuously without having to worry about that. So she is going to be very useful again in those situations, and she does have a decent amount of stun. She probably won't be stunning as well as a character like Chingy, like a specialized stunner, but she will still be stunning more than probably most of the other supports that are not specialized stunners. And if we start to get more endgame content like the disputed nodes, where the focus isn't on how fast you can clear it but rather on survival, then she will be extremely valuable for those types of modes, and she will be a very comfortable defensive option for your team. If you are having trouble in endgame, she will be able to provide you with very thick shields, which will make it so that your characters can survive taking a hit or two, which will make the runs a little more comfy. One downside of having multiple things in your kit is that you're not specializing in either one, which means that whenever a specialized character in a certain area comes out, they will almost always power creep her in that department specifically, not in every aspect, but in that specific aspect. Like, she does have decent daze speed, but if you really want to focus on dazing, then a specialized stunner will do the job faster. So overall, in my opinion, she will be very useful if you have characters that rely on a long attack chain for damage like Ellen, then she would be a pretty good choice. But if you have someone like Lycon or Sokaku, I don't know if they would be worth swapping them out for Caesar. Here's the thing. If you, let's say, have Ellen but you don't have Lycon or Chingy or a decent stunner, then you could argue putting her in there because she does have decent stun capabilities along with all of the other stuff she can do. But if you already have a team with Ellen, Lycon, and Sokaku, then the question arises, where would you put her in? Who would you swap out? Because Lycon's better at stunning than her, most likely, and Sokaku's buffs are going to be higher than Caesar's, unless she like outbuffs Sokaku, which I doubt is gonna happen. Realistically speaking, a character that specializes in an aspect will most likely be better at that aspect than Caesar, who does a little bit of everything. So if you have the team completed with all of the specialized roles fulfilled by specialized characters, then you probably won't need her, because there's not really too much benefit to swapping out a character that specializes in that specific role with her. But if you are missing a part of a team, then she can fulfill the role, because she is very flexible and can fulfill a multitude of roles. So if you're missing, like, say, a buffer, she can fulfill that role to an extent. She can fulfill the role of a stunner if you need one to an extent as well. And of course, she is a defense character, so if you just need shields, or if you're just getting interrupted continuously, then yeah, she's going to be a very, very comfy option. Alright, so the next character we're going to be talking about is Burnice. Burnice is a 5-star fire anomaly character that is coming up in the second phase of 1.2, and she has a mechanic which allows, from what I've seen in the live stream, I believe she has a mechanic which allows her to accumulate burn on the enemy even while she's off field. So I'm guessing her rotation will be similar to a quick swap team, I guess. Probably you're supposed to like swap into her, use her EX skill, and then swap out, and she'll just accumulate burn and deal damage while she's off field. I think that's basically what her kit is all about. So she is most likely going to be a key part of any disorder team or anomaly team, but she doesn't seem to be the DPS. She is a sub DPS who's going to provide off-field damage, so you will need another anomaly DPS to pair with her in order to make the team. Someone like Jane Doe if you have her, or Grace, or I guess if nobody else you can just use Piper. Maybe even in the future there will be more anomaly DPSs, we'll see, but for the time being you can always just pair her with Piper if you don't have any of the other 5-star anomaly characters. She is specifically built for anomaly teams and anomaly teams only. Also, her banner has 2 great A rank agents, being Lucy and Nicole, who are some of the best supports in the game, and all of their mindscapes are pretty useful too. So her banner has more value in terms of Caesar, whose banner consists of Anton and Piper, who are not that great. I mean, like I said, you could use Piper if you don't have any of their anomalies here, but Anton really isn't a character that is used as much. So yeah, like I said, Burnice is a pretty good character, but her niche is only anomaly. So if you are interested in playing an anomaly team, then she's a must. She is very, very good, and you should highly consider getting her. But if you're not planning on playing anomaly teams, then yeah, there's no real reason to get her, because outside of anomaly teams she's not going to be useful in any other team. So that's that. So yeah, overall with Caesar King, if you need a shielder, or you basically need to fulfill a role that you don't have a specialist for that she has in her kit, then by all means go for her. She can provide you with a comfier run, giving you less to worry about in terms of dodging or getting interrupted due to her thick shield and anti-interruption mechanic. But if your team's already built with the proper roles being fulfilled by proper specialized characters, and you don't have trouble dodging and staying alive, then she is not really necessary to pull. And as for Burnice, it's quite easy. If you want to play anomaly, then yeah, she's going to be very, very good and probably very, very crucial to any and all anomaly teams for the time being. But if you don't want to play anomaly, there's no reason to pull her, because she's not really useful outside of anomaly teams. And as for the banners, as you can see from the A ranks, Burnice's banner has more value, because the 2 A ranks in Burnice's banner, Lucy and Nicole, are 2 of the best supports currently in the game, whereas Caesar's banner has Anton and Piper. If you want to play an anomaly team with Burnice but you don't have Grace or Jane Doe, then I guess you could use Piper, but an Anton just isn't used anywhere. So those 2 are not that great of a value for a banner, whereas Burnice's banner has a lot more value in terms of the A ranks. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think and who you're going to be pulling for down in the comments, and yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. See you all in the next one.